What's up, guys? Can you hear me okay? Check, check. Can you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure before we get started. Good deal. All right, I know I titled this as the Sonata, but we're actually going to work on Big Red's toy hauler truck for just a little bit, see if I can get some of his issues cleaned up on that model. So let me go ahead and get started. One second. All right. I'm just kind of looking this over for him. He was having issues with wheels spinning outside the truck and all this stuff, so we're just going to take a look at it for him. This is actually going to be released along with one of our other patron releases this month, so it'll be in there for early releases, and you guys will be able to get this with, I believe, the welding rig whenever it comes out. So yeah, let's see what we can get going on. This thing actually looks pretty sweet. I think he said he took about 6 different models to stick together to make this. So we're just going to kind of look it over for him, see what he's got going on. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hopefully it's not too late for a lot of you. I got a little bit later start tonight than I was hoping for. Oh, I know. I've been planning to do one. I just hadn't got around to it. We'll be on to the Sonata here in just a little bit. I'm just going to test this out for him real quick and see what's going on with it. I already see a couple of things. The door hinges, they don't need to be way down here. They actually need to be up here, so we'll move that stuff around. Let's see what we got going on. Alright, see, this is one problem. If you don't center your axes on your collisions with the axis on the actual mesh itself or wherever your pivot point's at, you'll end up with issues where it'll do that fast open and close thing. So you need to make sure that you have your collisions centered where they need to be. Yep, all that looks good. So we're just going to reset some of these axes. And if you don't know how to do this, this is all your local axis tools that you use right here. What we're going to do is, it looks like the actual mesh already has the proper positioning where it needs to bend. So what we're going to do is use the copy axis tool. And let me turn this on so you can see. We're going to copy the axis from the mesh that's already in the right spot to that collision. And you'll see it snap it right over there to it, and then they're in sync, and everything should be good on that. Chassis, he's got a tiny chassis. Looks like it was just one little piece that he used for it. And that's fine. Chassis can actually be absolutely nothing if you want it to be, so it's not that big a deal. What's up, NASCAR? Welcome back. This is already centered, so we don't really need to do anything with it. Cab. I would actually rename this. I'm going to change this up for you. This actually needs to be chassis. So I'm just going to dismiss that. And see, that's probably why your cab was being silly, because it wasn't actually attached to the chassis itself. So it doesn't know how to do the deformations and stuff correctly, so that's part of your problem there. So what we'll do is just, what lots do you have on that? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you got a bunch of stuff in your LOD still, it looks like. So what we'll do is get rid of that. That can cause it to look silly from far away. If you've got multiple LODs that were originally on the base model. So we're just going to keep the that one little piece that you had listed as chassis, if that's right. I'm assuming it is. You probably had frame. Yeah, that's your whole frame there. So you also have frame, but you don't actually have it a compound. So we need to fix that too. So let's see. So we're actually going to just rename what we're going to make it. Chassis. Yeah. Good grief. Okay, so we got those. So that's going to make up our chassis. Which really, this should be part of your body shell on the back here, but it'll be fine. If it has any issues with bullet holes or anything, we'll, what sizes do we got here? Oh, we can just attach those. That's only 40K, or 40, yeah, 40K. So you know what I'm gonna do? That's actually gonna be your body shell there. That's not gonna be chassis. So body shell, what is your body shell? Okay, body shell's nothing. That's the original. You still got all the original pieces. That's funny. I think that's all of your original piece there, if I'm not mistaken. Was that part? No, you weren't using those pieces. So you didn't have anything for body shell. It doesn't look like. Or were you using those for the lights? It's hard to tell on that one. I'll tell you what, we'll unlink these for now, just to get them out of the way. And let's go ahead and turn everything on. Turn everything off. No, it doesn't look like you were using that. No, definitely not. Yeah, you deleted them from LOD 0, but it looked like whoever did the original model had multiple LODs in it. So the others are still there. So realistically, you could spawn your truck in the game like this, but whenever you get over like 50 feet away from it, you'll see it turn into a totally different truck. So, chassis. Yeah, I saw that. That's cool looking. You got your wings, that's fine. But you got your LODs, so you got them loaded. Well, that's fine. You use the same ones, so you can keep that. So those are good. Axes are right on those. Your door. Window. All that should be good. Yeah, roughly it's all in the same position, so it'll be fine. B, that's your other little window, that's fine. Alright, so doors should be good. Okay. Alright, something's weird here. Hold on. Seeing some duplicate pieces, it looks like. So you got Mystic C twice. And you got window twice. That can cause issues, so we'll dump those. So now you got Mystic C and B, that's fine. Window LF, window RF, that's fine. Passenger side front, driver side front. Alright, so your doors are good. Well, I say that, hold on. Yep, they're in the right spots. Windscreen, that's correct. Collision, it's a little off, it looks like. Actually, yeah, it's a little off, but we'll fix that. From our window to the collision. And you get your indicators. Those are fine. Although, I may fix the textures on them. I'll have to look at those and see what they look like. Windscreen's right. Windscreen collision's off a little bit, so we'll fix it. Interior. Interior can be... Usually your interior pieces you want to make chassis. That's typically what they are on most GTA cars. I mean, you can keep them the generic names, but a lot of times the deformations won't work if they're not named something appropriate. So I'll just kill that. Hey man, welcome. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and unlink this. Welcome to the stream, guys. Get rid of that. Got your dials. They line up good. Glass G. Okay, that's your it's just the glass on the console. Get your horns. Oh geez. What do we got going on here? Hold on. So we got chassis. Get rid of those. You got horns, but you don't have anything for horns under LOD 0, but you do under LOD 1 and LOD 2. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be there. I think that may just be a duplicate. I think the Smokey and the Bandit car has been done, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Okay, visors and horns, that's just nothing, it doesn't look like. Frame wrap. That looks like nothing. Looks like you might have been working on that and never did anything with it. We'll get rid of it. Yeah, those are just duplicates. So you actually have a lot of extra polys in there that you didn't need. I know a little, just enough to get in trouble. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Just doing a little cleanup on Red's truck. That's the toy hauler that's going to come out later this month with the right around the time that the welding rig comes out. And once I get done with this and get it cleaned up, we'll jump to back to the Hyundai and see what we can get going on it tonight. Tow hitch. I don't see anything for LOD 0. Nothing. That's just a default one, so we'll clean that up. And brake lights, tail lights, brake lights, tail lights, tail lights. Alright. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, so all the lights look good. Engine block. Oh, good grief. What's all this? Oh, that's that Cummins turbo. Dun, 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 dun. That's a bunch of pieces. I bet this is a lot of polygons. That's a lot. That's a nice engine though. It's very cool. I think I have the base of it. I don't have it with all the turbos and stuff on it. Let's see what our polys look like on this. I bet that intercooler's huge. That's probably 90% of your model right there. 128 verts. Let's see if we can clean that up a little bit for you. Oops. Oh, sweet. I took the burns way down. So that should be the intent. No, the intercooler. I don't see intercooler, so it must be named something else. There we go, air cooler. So we're at 5369 verts after we weld everything. No change. Was there a change on that? That should be intake pipe. Down pipe, no. Boost line. Yep, so I took it down a little bit. Polys came way down. Air filter. Let's see. It's 976 and 282. Let's see what we can take it down to. Any change? Oh, looks like you already did these, so I ain't gonna waste my time with that. These need to be, you can just convert these to, see, most of them you've got set to LOD 0. That one's not, so you can just convert it to LOD 0 as well. Little miscellaneous pieces like this, they don't need dummies. They don't serve any special function or anything, so you can just name them like you did. So those should be fine, but you see how all the axes are messed up all over the place? These all need to be reset to parent. You talking about like to put larger wheels on a car per se, like to stretch the fenders out? Essentially all that kind of stuff's just done in the vert layer, in the vertex layer. So you'll just go in there and you can just drag the individual vertices around till you get the shape the way you want it. I think that's what he did on this truck for the fenders in the back. They're a little jagged, so I might see if I can help smooth them out a little bit, but we'll see. So I'm just going to reset all these axes to parent. Let me just do this. There we go. Just do them all at once. Engine block, get you to. There we go. The steering wheel, it looks like you got it centered. It's a pretty nice steering wheel too, by the way. I like that. That actually look good in some of my mini trucks. Chassis dummy, these are wrong. This is why your stuff's messing up. So you can't just have the dummy itself. So I'll pull those from a different model. That way we get our boxes and stuff back around everything like it was. Headlights. Extra light, headlight, headlight. I don't know what 3 and 4 is. Was that something higher up? That's the cab lights on the interior, it looks like. So these, we're just going to center lights on their self. Actually, the housing itself can be reset to the parent. So this big guy here. Then I'll go back to the main spot. It looks like these are your glasses. So we're just going to reset those to parent as well because they serve no purpose for casting light or anything. We'll get it straightened out. It's not a big deal. Let's go ahead. Oh, never mind. That's just glass overall. So this, reset this one back up here. And what we'll do is take, why do you have extra lights under one headlight but not the other? Do those serve a purpose, or is that just extra stuff there? Those are just nodes that don't look like they have anything in them. So we'll get rid of those. So you got your 2 headlights. So we're going to highlight these. Wherever your axis is, that's where the light's going to cast from. So you want to kind of move these up so they're right in the center of the projector lights. So just grab them. Make sure you change this to move axes only. Scoot these up so they're centered. Oh shit, you're right, that's what it was. I forgot about that. Go back, get those back. I'm zoomed in too much and I don't see them. Alright. Those actually don't need to be under the headlights per se. They can actually be anywhere since they're not part of the headlight function. So we'll just move them out on their own. But we'll also center them on themselves. There you go. So now this should be good. Okay. So now all of our lights should be good. Well, we had to back it up, so let's do these again. Just move them up so they're coming right from the center of the projectors. So now your headlights should be set up proper. Light should come from where it's supposed to. So we're done with that. And like buckets, these, looks like they're filling in the gap with those. So these serve no purpose axis wise, so we'll just reset these to parent. And we'll also convert, well, yeah, I don't think you can have names like that. I really don't think the game likes spaces, to be honest with you, so I always call oddball pieces just miscellaneous whatever. You can use the same miscellaneouses over and over, except for where you've got glass and a collision. So what we'll do, any of these little oddball pieces that have spaces in the name, we'll get rid of that and just go with a standard name. Just convert these so they're good to go. You got your neons, you got your wheels. Wheels have a default and a lot 0. One other thing I do here, under your compound wheels that actually teleport or go to the other places, what I do is dismiss these and actually load these under the wheel nodes. And so what you would do, like whenever you have it locked, you would turn your LOD 0 off and go to collision. And yeah, see that right there, there's your problem with your bouncy wheels. Your wheel node and your collision are off. they might have been straight this direction, but they're not straight that direction, so that can cause them to go crazy. Hey guys, welcome. Appreciate you tuning in. I know we're getting a little late start on this side, but had a little delay this evening, so better late than never, I guess. I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss all these. And let's just check individual pieces. Reset wheel meshes to the center of their cell. Right there was your problem on the back one. See how that axis shifted? So it wasn't centered completely. So wheels, the wheel mesh, you always just want to recenter it on itself with this tool right here. Center local axis to object. And then let that be your base. And let that be your base of what you base it off of. So for your next one. So now that you've got that done, go ahead and turn on your dummies. And you can see there's a little bit of gap between them. So what you want to do is copy from the wheel that you centered to the dummy. And then do the same thing on your back one. You can see it's off from your wheel. Well, you can't even see the dummy on the back one. Hold on. There it is. And then it shifts it over where it's supposed to be. Alright. So that's that. Turn your collisions on. Even the collisions off just a smidge. You can see it if you zoom in. Just the slightest little bit of variation in there can cause the wheel to bounce and do crazy stuff. So what we'll do is copy local axis from the mesh. So make it so it's blue, and then just copy that to your collision. Sometimes you gotta move it around to get it to select it. And you see it shift a little bit, so you know it's in position. Same thing here. You can go from the wheel or the dummy to your collision. And now those are properly set up. So now you can actually rebuild them. So your wheel LF, convert lot 0, dump your wheel in, turn lot 0 off, go to your collision, dump your collision in, unlock it. That wheel's finished. And I'll show you in a minute why I copy wheels to the other side of the car. Instead of just trying to line stuff up with a collision. It doesn't line up 100% right with a mesh, so it's easier to do it this way. So convert lot 0, dump your wheel in, dump your collision in, and you're finished. So now you got two finished wheels. So you turn your lot O on. I'm going to completely blow these two wheels away. I'm going to copy these two wheels, just create a copy. I'll just stick them down there, unselect your first two, pick your second two, mirror these on the x-axis, and then that'll put them perfectly on the other side for the most part. You'll still need to maybe do a little sliding back and forth before you rebuild these, and then all of your wheels will be exactly where they need to be. So I think we're almost finished with this, so let's go ahead, show everything. And see, this gives you the opportunity. See, the way it was set up before, your wheels are poking through your fenders a little bit on this side. So what you do is, with those two selected, you just tweak it over just a little bit on the x-axis. Hold on. Oh shit, my bad, screwing up. Sorry, language. Make sure you turn that move axis back off when you finish moving lights and stuff like that around. And then go back to move the mesh, and you just smooth it in just a little bit so that it's not sticking through the fender. And once you got those in place, while I'm doing this, because I like to maximize how much stuff sticks out, I'm just going to see how much wiggle room we got. There we go. Just poking them out a little bit so you can actually see the spikes sticking out the fender wells. There you go. Much better. Gives it a much more aggressive stance when they stick out a little bit. Alright, so now we got all 4 wheels perfectly positioned where we want them to be when they spawn in the game. So now what we need to do is go ahead and hide everything except our wheels. So we know these wheels over here are perfect. They're exactly where we want them. So our new ones, so this is actually going to get renamed, so take your brackets off because this is not a master wheel, it's just a dummy spot. Go ahead and change it to RR because it's right rear. This one right here is right front. Do the same thing, take the brackets off. Go ahead and dismiss them. Now you'll notice the axes do not copy. Yeah, they look great, man. It's a nice looking wheel. So what you do while you've still got your meshes in place, because they did copy, you need to go up here and center your local axes, and that'll move them to the right side of the vehicle where they're supposed to be. And then while your mesh is here, you can copy it from here. Actually, make sure your other wheels are turned off so you only see the parts that you're wanting to work with. And then copy from your wheel to the dummy, wheel to the dummy, wheel to the other dummy, and wheel to the other dummy. And then you can turn your others back on. Delete these 2 meshes because you don't need them anymore. They were just for visual purposes. And now convert these collisions for each of these dummies back to where they're supposed to be. And you need to rename these dummies as well because they copied from the other place. So RR and RF. And you're finished. There's all your wheels. Just keep everything nice and ordered. And now everything's exactly where it should be. No bouncing, should be nice and smooth. I noticed you didn't have any hubs in here. Do you got rotors? Yeah, you've got rotors in there. Let's get some hubs on here. Let's see. I'll pull the ones off the welder. I actually made them paintable hubs instead of just static red ones like all the other cars have. So we'll pull those over and get those positioned. I'll show you how to do that so that they turn with the wheels like they're supposed to. I'm just going to pull our 4 hubs over. Just toggle your LOD to get them to show up. Alright. Now we can just move these into position where they need to be. So we got LF. So I usually do 2 at a time. So my fronts, just to make sure I get them in the right spot. Let's go left side. And we're probably going to want to scale these up just a little bit because your hubs or your discs are pretty good size. And that looks like it's a pretty good match. There we go. You just move them into position where they should be. There you go. Now you got you some nice brake rotors in there. You can kind of just tweak them a little bit just to get them centered on the hubs. You just got to make sure you don't have them poking through the mesh of the wheel any. So once that side's done, typically I do this before I delete my meshes on my wheels, so I'm going to temporarily copy these as an additional set just for visual purposes and not mess with my originals. Just to make sure I've got the hubs in the right spot. Just mirror them to the other side. Turn them off. Alright. Now, So we got that hub on that side in the right spot, but now we got to do the right front side. So we'll just move, since we scaled everything together and moved it into position, they should be identical from side to side. And then you just kind of look at the insides just to kind of get them roughly in the same position. And there you go. Then you can unselect that. Now, the other trick for hubs, because if you don't set the axis right, usually when you turn your wheels, you'll see the hub stick through the wheel. So what you do is you want to make sure that you copy the axis of the wheel, which is not these two, it's actually this dummy. So from the dummy to the hub, and then over here from the dummy, or wheel in this case because you can see it, to the hub. Now when the front wheels turn, the hubs will turn at the exact same rate, so they actually look like they're supposed to. So we'll get rid of those. Well, not get rid of them, but just make sure they're unselected. Take our back hubs. And just slide these into position. Welcome to the stream, guys. Sorry, kind of in my own little world here working on this stuff, but we're trying to clean up Big Red's toy hauler for him, so we can get this out to everybody on the patron release this month. We've got I think we got like 5 things maybe scheduled for this month. We've got the welder rig. That's actually going to be coming out this month. Patron early release folks will get it before everybody else does, but they will be out this month. So we're going to do that. We're going to do this toy hauler around the same time. I've got the fuel tanker coming out this month, the one with the extra fuel lines and stuff on it, where you can kind of role play filling up gas stations and stuff like that. The Ranger, the one with the airbags on it that we showed a while back, that one's going to come out this month. I may do the Silverado around the same time I do that one, the like 94 Silverado I was playing with. And I think that's it so far. There may be some other stuff. We'll get pictures of all of it up soon. I've just been trying to get caught up on some projects before I get too crazy back into all that stuff. So that wheel's all set up. We can turn the other one back on. RR, LR. So now we did to do RR and move it into position. Yeah, I'll fix all that, don't worry about it. And getting these on the hubs. Ooh, that hub's closed. There we go. So now you got brake rotor on the back, brake rotor on that side. So now the backs aren't as important. You actually don't have to center the backs, but I usually do it just for good measure. So just copy it from the wheel to the hub. Oops. Forgot we didn't center that. Oh shoot, did I? Nope, that's right. I meant to go from the dummy to the hub. There we go. I forgot that wheel was mirrored, so we didn't need it. So we can get rid of those now. And we'll go from the wheel. Kind of got to get it where you can hit it. Wheel to the hub. And we should be good. What is off there? Hold on. Okay, what gives there? Give me a second. Why is that axis off? Give me a minute, let me see what happened here. Okay, so we got our dummy and our wheel. They're right. Collision is right. Okay, the hub didn't copy for some reason. So from the wheel to the hub, there we go. Alright, just build this back. Unlock 0. Wheel, collision. Okay, that's done. Bumper front. Looks like you got that as a plate. License plate as a, whoops, there we go. So these actually don't need to be separate like that. So we'll get rid of that. I'll actually hide that. I'm gonna attach the license plate to the frame. Like so. Yeah. So now we have that as bumper front. We don't need that dummy anymore. Got our chassis collision. All of our hubs are good. Gonna dump these back up here. Do you actually want this to be a separate piece, like an extra, or did you just want it attached to the body somewhere? Okay. So we'll just attach it to the body shell. And then that, other than our chassis, should be it. So we'll actually go ahead and attach these pieces together. And we're going to attach this to the big chassis. Oh, no, no, don't want that. That is actually our body shell. And we will move it under body shell. Make sure this is centered with the parent. And it's not, so that's good. Center with the parent. Yeah, it's personal preference. You can always chop it back off and make it an extra if you want. Alright, so that's that. That's all of that. That's all of our pieces. So I'm thinking we should be done. Oh, I know. This was just something I was temporarily fixing for him real quick before I got started on the Hyundai. There's that. So you should be set with this. I wanted to look at these fenders real quick and just see if I could smooth this out at all. Or if it's just that few polys. Oh yeah, we can fix this. And this is what I mean by reshaping your wheel wells. You can kind of do any of this stuff on the vert layer. Just make sure you don't select crap you don't want, like all that stuff in the middle. I'll actually move this to the top of the wheel. That way it looks like it's supposed to. sure we didn't select anything we didn't want. Just kind of moving them in a little bit, just to kind of give it a little bit more rounded edge to the inside. To deselect, I hold Control and then highlight everything I did. There we go. Okay. All right, that looks good. Not quite as out of round. That side's kind of different than this side, so I'm going to fix that. Back to a poly level. Highlight all this again. And then we'll copy this one to the other side, that way they're all matched up. So we're just going to detach it, copy it, mirror it on the Z-axis or X-axis. Now we got two matching fenders, nice and clean. Unselect all that, attach these back, and there we go. Now, highlight everything. Dun, dun, dun. 3 UV channels for everything. Let's get rid of all of our unused materials, clean this up. There we go. If you ever get multiple default materials, you can always delete them and clean that up. There we go. Another one. If you got multiple defaults, just delete them. The main default one's always going to be at the top. So you got some colors in here that are just adapts. These all need to have a shader set. So just go to GTAV, generic, spec, and just do that for all the ones that don't have a, I mean, if you know what the thing is, you can get a little more specific with it, but if you don't know what it is, just make sure all the adapts are just turned to at least generic spec, just so they show up with whatever color they have on them. Once you get into doing bump maps and all that stuff, you can get a little bit more crazy with some of the other materials. But you just want to kind of go through the list and make sure you don't have anything that's just set as just nothing for its adaptation. That can cause issues as well. So you got more defaults. You can just get rid of all those. Every time you import a model, it's going to dump a default in there. But realistically, you only need one. And if you delete it, if you can somehow magically delete it, it will it'll put it back anyway. And then some of these you had turned off. So let's just go through, make sure there's not any more that are turned off. There we go. Okay, so unselect these. If you look, you see squares on there. That means some of your textures aren't showing up or set right in the browser. Hold on. Where are our freaking headlights? Where did they go? Oh, there they are. So you got stuff in front of them now. Your glass material. Either that or that black's behind it. Oh, it's blocking them out. I gotta scoot those little fillers you've got there. I gotta scoot them back. What did we call those? Oh geez, that's a question. I don't know. That's almost too hard of a question to answer. I like too many different vehicles. What were those stupid things called? Body shell, where you at? Oh yeah, yeah, I know the purpose. I'm just trying to figure out where the heck they went. I know they're in here somewhere. It wasn't those. It wasn't any of these, was it? Oh yeah, there it is. No. Seriously? Hold on. Is that the glass that's let's see if our glass material messed up. Oh, you probably had one of the glasses turned off and I turned it back on. That's probably what it was. Let me find them. Those must not have been set to glass. Let's see what materials they're made of. Eyelids and headlight back. Eyelids. It's not the eyelids. Headlight back. It's not that. Yeah, I don't think it's the buckets. I think it's one of the specs that I turned back on. It's gotta be that. Maybe you got more than one headlight back. Nope, just one. That is weird. Alright, let's see if they're just sticking through or what that is. That is weird. So let's do this, because these should actually be glass. Headlight back is what they are. That is weird. I don't know why it wouldn't. Oh shoot, I know why. Maybe this. And it's set on a black thing. So what we're gonna do is change this to glass. I've got the Slam Tacoma, I just hadn't done it yet. I got started on it. I'm actually gonna have to do all the custom interior in that one, so that one's gonna take quite a bit longer than a normal one. Vehicle glass. There we go. Turn that off. And now, get rid of that. Let me add you a glass. Well, you've already got a glass in here somewhere. Where are we at? Where are we at? There you go. And that's right. I don't like that glass. I'm gonna put mine in here. There we go. So now that we've got our glass on there, we can slide those back to where they need to go. Now, if you notice, anytime your glass material is in front of whatever the mesh is behind it, it'll make it clear, like it won't exist. You'll see right through it. So to fix that, that's our bottom one. So it's the actual material. So since this is glass, we'll just rename this to light glass. And all your glasses want to go at the very bottom of your material list. That way everything shines through them. So you put it at the bottom and your light shines back up again. Same thing for the inside of the truck. If your vehicle glass is above your interior materials, you won't even see your interior whatsoever unless you break your windows out or take them off the model in the viewer here. It'll also make your dials not show up correctly. You won't be able to see your dials if you don't have your glass below the actual mesh material. So what we're going to do, let me look for any more vehicle glass. Make sure we've got it at the bottom. Yep, see there's our actual window glass and it's all the way at the top. So you want to just take it back down. Get it out of the way. And let's make sure we don't have any more glass. That looks like everything. And I usually do one glass for everything that I'm doing on my vehicle. So it just makes it easier to keep up with everything. So the light glass and this glass, I'm just going to replace them. That way we can eliminate one material and then all of our glass will be the same through the whole vehicle. So see, now everything goes off when I turn it off. So that's that. See now, on the outside, you can actually see the dials and the gauges and everything through the glass with no problem. These exhaust nodes, I don't know if those are right. I'm almost positive the blue line is the direction the smoke goes in, so these are probably just firing straight backwards. But I can't say for sure until I test it. So we'll just leave it as is. I know you can't have, there's extra light 5. I don't think you can have, I think you can only have 2 extra lights. I don't think there's an extra light 3 and 4 and 5. Unless that's something they've added in the new expansion. So what we'll do, I do know you can only have 8 exhaust nodes. So I'll go ahead and ditch 2 of those. What's toy hauler? Is that just a dummy? Yeah, just a dummy. Get rid of that. Oh, I know, but you named it extra light 5. I don't think extra light 5 exists. So what we would do, hey man, what's up? Let's see. No, they don't. And that, okay, I see what happened there. That's just a, it just didn't get attached like it was supposed to. So you're, let me fix that. Okay, so it's just part of your lights that didn't get attached. So we'll just attach extra 5 to extra light 4. And extra light 4 or 3 to 4. There you go. And it won't even be extra light 4. These can just actually be a miscellaneous. If they're not shining light, like casting light, yeah, I've already got a top kick on 5 mods. So we'll make that miscellaneous A. That'll be fine. So if it's just like cab lights that just light up naturally at night, then you don't even have to do anything special for those. Aside from assigning a light ID to them. So you got your extra lights 1 and 2, which are, thanks for the sub. What we'll do is recenter these and bring them back. And of course we got to move these axes up again since we made some changes to it. Just get them up into the center so the light casts from the right spot. Make sure you turn that axis move back off so you don't screw something up. We're going to center these to the parent to get them set right. Front and rear fender lights. Let's see. Front and rear fender lights. You got them set to emissive, so that's good. So yeah, if you didn't set light IDs, they'll just come on automatically, so those should be good now. And that should be it. I want to check these blinkers because they look kind of washed out, like they're missing something. I can do one, but I don't have one right now. But we can talk about that in Discord if you want. It's not a big deal. Let's look at our indicators and make sure they're set right. These are lights G. You've got these set to emissive, so that's right. Okay, we'll fix all that. Yeah, if I don't have it, I can do it. It just takes time. So lights G. Alright, so you got that set right. Mask don't matter. Lights G. As a spec map, you can actually make these white as a spec map for lights. That's not a big deal. Your environment, that needs to be replaced with environment. And now they're actually orange like they're supposed to be. So let's go ahead and set these front lights are 5 and 6, I believe. So LF should be 5. So this is how you do light IDs. First time you do it, you go to the poly level, select it, go to external state, change it to 5 for the front left blinker, and apply it. Go to the vertex level while it's still selected. Same thing, make it 5, save it. That blinker's finished. Then go to the next one, just toggle out of that. Turn the one off that we were done with. Help select it. This one's 6. Save it. Vertex, highlight it. 6, save it. Apply it. And there you go. You got your front blinkers. Now they're set right. Cab lights. Typically they're going to come on with your headlights usually. So let's find that one. So we'll just highlight those. They're actually set to 4, which is wrong. So we're going to set that to 1 so they come on with one of the headlights, or actually better yet, we'll just leave them at 0 and then they'll just stay on all the time. 0 is like default on whenever it gets dark, so you don't even have to set an ID for those. But we do want to check the vertex and make sure it doesn't have one, which it don't, so that's fine. Cab light should be good. And let's check our headlights. Make sure they're set right. Headlight left. And the only part we want to worry about is the actual headlight. And that's set to 1. Go to the vertex, it's set to 1, so you're good on those. Let's check 2 just to make sure. Should be set to 2. 2. So your headlights are good. Extra lights 1 and 2. If I'm not mistaken, I think extra lights are what, 13 and 14 or 14 and 15. Can somebody check that for me real quick? It may already be set. Give me 1 second. Oh, he's got them set to 2. Yeah, so they're not even really set up as extra lights, so it's fine. So that'll be fine. We can actually just completely get rid of this then. So let's just kill these because they're not set up as extra lights. So we'll just merge them with the headlights, simplify things. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mine's like a Core i7 8700K or 8700. Yeah, 8700K 1080 Ti. Nothing special, just, I mean, it's top of the line for last year, I guess, or close to it, but you know, it's old now, so. It's a generic power, or whatever that computer company is that builds computers. Cyber Power, I think. I bought mine back when the 1080s were stupid expensive, so it was cheaper just to get a whole freaking computer. Yeah, I'll have to look at those. I'm not sure. 2 lights between the front tires. You talking about the neons? In the front axle. I'll have to look at that. I didn't see those. So these are good. Let me just go back. These will work just fine how they are. Alright, so headlights are good now. You got more lights on the axle? I don't see any lights on the axle. Alright, so I think we're good. I'm not sure how the hands on the wheels look yet. I haven't seen those. But I think that takes care of everything. Oh, you mean in the back? Yeah, those right there. Those are extra tail lights, right? Yeah, tail light left, tail light right. Brake light. Oh, you got two sets of tail lights. Yeah, you can't do that. Hold on. Oh, those in the front. Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't even see those. Alright. Yeah, those should be fine. We'll check them out. Alright. I think that gets us set up. I don't like this. Let me change that to a Mythic A. Try not to have anything with spaces in it if we can help it. And I know we've ended up spending almost all of our time on this. This was supposed to be the Hyundai. I'm gonna have to change my thumbnail picture. Alright, this is our chassis. Let's... Okay, let's compound our chassis. And then I got to bring our low lod and... No, these are American Force wheels. I think these look like some of Capone's wheels, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and save it. And I will copy low lod and dummy over from one of the other ones. Alright. As a dummy. And where's it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Chassis low lod. Then I'll put our box back around everything. Yeah, we got a few minutes. I think this is gonna do it. I'm gonna ship this over to Big Red. He can put it in the game and see if it works. Get us some pictures up on the Discord. Yeah, that's wrong. Ugh, gotta fix that. That causes issues too, by the way. Having the collision not right. Oh geez, why is the collision glass? Yeah, I'm getting rid of that too. Let's go ahead and get one from over here. Which dummies? Oh, like the ones I just imported in. Let me find a SEMA collision real quick, and we can do that. Yeah, I may as well just change the thumbnail and just finish this one out. What is one of the, there we go, I'll just use this one. There we go. And this is how you do collisions. 1 second. Where's my body shell again? Oh, I didn't build the compound for that. I need to do that real quick. Convert lock, load 0, body shell. Alright, you always want to change your chassis or any of your collisions in the vertex level. And these are just like rough shapes. Best you can get, closest you can get. Just get it as close as you want, just so the bullet holes hit where they're supposed to, roughly. Oh, I know. It'll be pretty in a minute. Just bear with me. It's so much easier if you have a base shape to work from, instead of trying to turn like a pickup truck into it or something like that. So you just keep manipulating it just to get it just to the outside of it. Just the way you want it. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, the more time you spend on it, the better it'll end up working as far as bullet holes go. See, look at that. That's a pretty collision. Yeah, I don't like that. May as well just do it back here. That way we can get some kind of fender shape out of it. So we'll just move it up. That way you get some bullet holes back there. So there you go, pretty decent shape. Not perfect, but hold on. We need to expand these fronts out just a little bit. Forgot about the fenders. You guys, welcome. There you go. Oh, jeez. Hold on a minute. It's got our dummy. Like I said, the dummy's kind of just your basic. Oh, that's right. He did have wings, didn't he? Yeah. I don't know if they had collisions though. Selected. Out of the vertex layer for that, and just kind of get this as your rough shape, typically right around the bottom of the chassis. Yeah, if they got separate collisions, it's fine then. It won't matter. That's our dummy, our collision. Low load doesn't matter what it looks like, so you can just kind of stick it inside the main chassis collision. It really serves no purpose, I don't believe, other than keeping the game straight. Alright, so there's everything. If you notice the axis is wrong, you see how it's back here. This right here is why 90% of people's vehicles flip over and do crazy stuff. You need to recenter everything once you get it to where it needs to be. So with everything turned on, this works for lifted vehicles. Whenever you start doing that, what's up, man? Welcome to the channel. This is the center of your world. That's your center of gravity. If I ever say center of gravity, that's what I'm talking about. You don't want that too high. You don't want it too low. Typically, I like to keep it in the center of the vehicle, roughly slightly above the center of the tires. So move everything up. Move everything over, make sure you have your collisions turned on and everything is selected before you do this or you'll mess it all up. Once you've roughly got it into position where you want it, so it doesn't, this will keep it nice and flat and locked to the ground, so you don't have to worry about it tipping over or all that crazy handling issues. Just unselect everything and you need to start centering all of your pieces that are, go ahead and convert this back to a collision. These are good. These two need to be at the bottom of your list, always. Bottom of chassis, so they should be right here. Low load, it doesn't matter. You can just throw it up anywhere in here. So once everything's where it needs to be, make sure everything's unselected. Hide everything. Start with your very top node. You're going to center this to the world. And then once you've got your top node, top dummy, whatever you want to call it, you're going to start doing everything else. Reset to parent that doesn't have its own moving axis. So your chassis, reset it to the world, or your parent. Bonnet has its own collision and its own axis, so you don't move it. Anything that has a moving axis, you leave it alone. So doors, bumpers, wings, suspension parts, any of that stuff you don't have to worry about resetting. Once it gets finished saving, so we don't have to touch bumpers, no wings, no doors, no windows, no indicators, you don't have to touch lights, dials you don't have to touch, your body shell you have to touch, so you got to reset it to chassis. Your miscellaneous glass. I don't remember what that is, but you can, oh, that's the gauge cluster, so you can reset that because it's based off chassis. And of course, this will be different for every vehicle, so all your tail lights are fine. All your engine stuff's fine. Well, actually, all your miscellaneous pieces are what you're going to reset to the chassis. So your engine block, and we can just go ahead and turn all these on and do them at once. Just select them all, reset to or apparent. Steering wheel's got its own axis, so it's fine. Chassis low load, reset it. Low load collision, reset it. Hubs have their own axes. Miscellaneous lights was an extra thing, so we'll set it. Extra light 3. Wait a minute, why do we got 2 of those? It's okay. Extra light 3 we don't need. That was that extra one that we combined all into Missic A. So we'll reset it. This miscellaneous A is our headlight bezels, so you can reset the bezels. The lights you'll leave alone. Light glass, you can reset it because it's its own thing. Your wheels have their own axes, so you don't touch them. Chassis dummy you reset, but the chassis collision box, you leave it centered where you put it. So it'll always kind of have its own axis off in space somewhere. As long as the box is the rough shape of the vehicle, you'll be fine. You don't have to mess with that one. And then chassis collision, reset it obviously. And now everything's perfect. Sometimes this will cause the game to crash. So you'll want to modify this collision to be slightly bigger than everything on the vehicle. So you want to just move it up just a little bit. And just get it into position. I'll move the axes again. No. Yeah, we can do it. This one already has gauges, but I can do that sometime. I'll have to do it in the Hyundai when we finish it up. So why is this not moving? Oh, no. Helps if you select it. So just move it up slightly. So you just want to make sure that the body pieces are outside or inside that collision. So just move it up so that everything's in it, and just look at it from a front position, a top position. If you got mirrors and stuff hanging out of the side, you don't ever delete this box. It serves a purpose. This is the box that actually tells it not to run through a wall or not to run through other vehicles. So your collisions tell it to take damage or not to take damage or where to deform. But if you don't have this boundary box, it doesn't know where to stop when it runs into something. So we can kind of shrink it down. So the closer you can get it to the vehicle, the more accurate it's going to look when it bumps into something. So just kind of shrink it down just so everything fits perfect inside of it. Wheels don't matter. So everything at the bottom's not really an issue. So that shouldn't matter. But one thing I do want to change is that collision right there, because I don't want us to have an issue where it might run aground. So I'm going to position this up just a little bit, just so it's under the body. There we go. So now our dummy's set, those collisions are set, everything's unselected. And I would say we are probably good to test. It's a lot. It is a lot. Yeah, but that should be it. I don't think we're missing anything else. So what I want to do, since obviously this is going to be the main focus of this video and not the other one, I want to get a picture of this real quick just so we can change the thumbnail here shortly. Probably would have got more people if we had this one listed, but didn't think about it. Let's see. You've got a bunch of paints here. I actually took it and slammed it even more when I was playing with it just to see what it would look like. I actually don't care for gaps whatsoever. If I've got one that's slammed, I want it to lay on the ground. But it's personal preference. You can always tweak it and lower it more if you want to. If you try to go any lower, you gotta kind of mess with the wheels a little bit to get it centered so they don't stick through the fenders. I think shift lights. I think there's a car in the game by default that has a shift light. So you would need to get the dials out of whatever that car is, and those would need to be the base of whatever your dials are that you're setting up. But it shouldn't be hard. I haven't done a shift light. I've always wanted to. I just haven't ever got around to it. I got a couple of defaults. Just gonna get rid of these. Well, actually, I think we don't have one at the top, so that's fine. Paint. Which one of these is our actual paint? Good grief. All these paints, if these are all the same, we can combine all of these, which it looks like they are. So let's do this. Whoops. So we're gonna make this one the body paint. Yep. Just gonna replace these other paints just so everything matches. Appreciate you guys hanging around. Figure most people would get bored with this stuff. I know I gotta get back to doing the construction videos. I've just been, all this patron stuff's just kind of had me slammed. I haven't had time to do hardly anything I wanted to do. I'm gonna have to take me some personal time to get some of those going back on again. All right, what happened? Where did my paint go? It's all the, oh. That's another thing. They like to have names. So you want to just kind of put some kind of name in front of them. I don't think they like being blank. I think they have issues with that. I don't know what that one is, but it says it's a tire, so I'm gonna do the same thing with it. Oops. All right. Man, I think we can fix this a little bit better. Yeah. Don't want to get off on a tangent. I'm tired too. I appreciate y'all hanging in though. Let's see. Okay, I'm at a loss. Why is that not changing our paint? Okay, let's says body paint. I guess it's just decided it don't want to toggle on and off anymore. Yep, I guess it did. Let's give it some shine. That's the wrong environment map. I'm going to use the default one. First of all, I'm going to get rid of some of these 10,000 textures that are in here that we don't need. Just filter by unused and just ditch all this stuff. Oh yeah, paint's working fine. It's just something. Let's just replace that. Yeah, that looks a lot more shiny. And that's right. Oh yeah, that's hot. Yeah, appreciate you, man. We'll probably get another one going tomorrow if we don't have a lot going on. Alright. That's weird. Alright, so that should do it. I don't have this set up to be a mod, so I don't really have an easy way to test this yet. But that's probably something else you'd guys like to see, is how to actually make an add-on. Let's see. Save it. So let's go ahead. It just depends. I mean, you can bring it. The problem with bringing it lower is you have to cheat the wheels in. When I was playing with it, I had to bring them in a good bit, so just to play with it. See, as you take it low, I mean, I personally would like it to be flush with the body frame. To do that, though, I had to cheat these back fenders up higher to give them more room to go up, and I had to cheat it more over. Just tuck it in, just basically tuck it down to where the lug nuts are is typically what I try to shoot for. But in this particular situation, I would probably switch this to a smaller tire for one. You can also shrink the rims down just a little bit to get it to go lower. But I think this is probably a good base for now. And we'll just see what it looks like. But let's go ahead, save it one more time. And we'll just do export. Let's do, make a new folder. I need to do this anyway if it's going to be an add-on. It's you always want to export these as this name. Oh, I know. If it looks good, I'll do a screenshot in game and make that it. We'll see. Toy hauler. Toy hauler. We're only doing the highest LOD, obviously, because we didn't do LODs. So do all that. It exported fine. Rename it to high. Export it again. It's only 6.1 meg. That's not bad. That'll be perfectly fine. Whoops. Shit. Messed up. Toy hauler underscore ha. Do it again. And that's that. Now we need to export all of our textures that we've used. Make sure there's not any unused ones again, just for the heck of it. Alright, we're clear. Oh, it found some. Check it. Okay. Did it not delete them the first time? Move. Alright. Check it again. Alright, now it's clear. That's weird. So go in here and select all your textures that were used. There's probably a bunch of repeats, so you're probably going to hear a lot of ding in here in a second. We're going to save these. Published. Toy hauler. I usually make a new folder. Textures. And then just start saving them. You're going to have a lot of dings. Just hit yes every time it pops up. Just override any duplicates. Sorry for all the noise if you guys actually hear that. I don't know if you hear it through whatchamacallit or not. And when there's a million textures, it's super annoying. Out of those 10,000 textures, there's only like probably 20 or 40. The rest are all duplicates. I wish there was an easy way to consolidate all the duplicates, but I haven't found a way to do that. Okay, cool. So I'm the only one being annoyed. Good, great. Oh, it's not just you. I mean, this happens. Every time I do one of these, there's always duplicates. Just depends on how many parts you load from all the different cars, and it's always the GTA default textures that are duplicated over and over and over again every time you import something. And welcome back. Oh, we finished. Woo! Alright, now we're done with that. Save it one more time just to be sure. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? There's a lot of things in this program that would be nice, that would save everybody a lot of time. Alright, so that's that. The other thing I do is use DDS converter to convert all those DDSs it just did, because 90% of them probably won't even import into OpenIV. So just go to your folder where you just put out all your textures. And just select everything, which there's really not that many of them. Convert them all to a PNG. Give it a second and it'll be done. Alright, and that's that. So now we can copy everything into our add-on, and usually I work from add-ons that I've already done. So this will probably be one of the SEMA add-ons. I'll just copy it and rename everything, but this is typically how I do it for single player stuff. It works roughly the same for everything. So let's take the oh no, my desktop only stays clean for a month and then it's full again. I've got like 6 or 10 backups of my desktops from over the years that just collect and collect and collect and collect. There's always something. Too much stuff. What am I looking for? What was that Kenworth called? The W900. Nope. KW900 maybe? There it is. So we'll use this add-on. I usually just copy it to my full desktop. And we're just going to go up here, make a new folder, turn on edit mode, make a new folder. I'm going to call it Toy Hauler. And now we have our folder. So just drag that DLC you just did. So most of your work's already done. You need to start editing your files. So instead of KW900, we're going to replace all these with Toy Hauler. There's probably an automated way to do this, but this is how I do it. Go. There's that. Save it. Do your setup. Same thing in here. Just replace all the other mod add-on, whatever add-on you're copying from. Just replace all the references of the name to whatever the other name is, and then save it. Go to your data files. Carcoals doesn't matter because this one's not using nothing but default stuff, so we can get rid of that. You don't even need it unless you're doing custom lighting. We're just using default stuff. Car variations, I use the default ones I've got here for our tuning. And DLC meta you don't have to mess with. Handling, just replace it. Do your vehicle meta. Change the name if you want to. Whatever you want it to be. Okay. I'm not sure what dials it's using. We'll have to fix that later. Vehicles. Let's go ahead and ditch the two Kenworth files. We'll rename this to Toy Hauler. Yeah, neons will work. I got default tuning in there in the car variations. Delete everything out of here. You know, another cool feature of this tool would be if they had a Control A, delete all. I mean, I see that export all button there. Why do I not have a delete all button? Just saying. Okay. And just save it for good measure. Edit, import, point it to your file that we made a minute ago with all of our textures. Where did it go? Where did it go? Published. Textures. Just go ahead and import all those. Oops. See what I mean? So there was some that it didn't get, but the main goal of that was to get the PNGs, not the DDSs. So I'll let's go to details. Pick all of our PNGs that we had. Open those, import those. All these vehicle generics you can delete because those are default textures from GTA that don't have to be in there. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that should be good. Let me save it. Oh no, for real. Tell me about it. Surprisingly, these razor mice last pretty long. I haven't had too many issues with them. So now we want to find our vehicle files. Published. Toy hauler. There are 2 YTFs in here. YFTs, whatever they are. And now we should have a car. There you go, don't pay attention to wheels, it doesn't matter. They actually look right when you're in the game, so. Everything looks right. And we'll see how she looks in the game. Only last thing you gotta do is tell it to load that toy hauler in the updates, common data, DLC list, edit. Just copy a top line, whatever it is, enter space, take your spaces out, keep it nice and neat. Toy hauler. And save it. And that should do it. Unless I forgot something, but that should be it. Now, how do we have 15 people watching and only 13 likes? I don't get it. Come on. Come on, guys. Click the button. And of course, I'm running an old version because I don't ever update my crap until it forces me to do it. And I play in offline mode, so the updater doesn't tell me to update my stuff all the time. Of course, I haven't played in a few days, so it may make me validate my game. Oh no, I'm going over now. Is it 2 hours really already? I thought we started late. Hey Logan, welcome to the stream. Fixing to test this. I know the thumbnail is deceiving, so disregard the thumbnail. We didn't actually make it to the Hyundai tonight. We got stuck on helping Red out with his toy hauler, trying to get it finished up so he can actually finish up all the little tweaks he wants to do to it, and we can actually get it released with our patron releases this month and get it out there for everybody. Wonder if it'll work on the first try. That'd be cool. That'd be a great way to end the night. Oh. Alright. Hopefully you guys can see everything. Magic. Oh, it spawned. We need to tweak our suspension a little bit, but Need to limit our steering. Limit our steering, tweak our handling just a little bit so the wheels don't poke through and bounce. But that looks sick. Dude, I love it. I'm gonna use this to haul my mini trucks around with. I love that sound. They turned out great. And they're so fitting on this truck. Ooh, look how shiny. Oh, that's awesome. Dude, that is freaking sick. I love it. Man, it's even got dirt. Look at that. Drop it even lower. Let's see. Gotta fix that. See that instant closing? The dummies weren't the right dummies for the doors, so we'll have to fix that. Hands aren't on the wheels. We'll have to fix that. Looks like we might need to scale that seat down just a pinch and adjust his seating position. Oh shoot! Sorry about that, guys. Let's see, hood. There's your hood. Hood works perfect. There's your headlights. They come on. The trunk. So that's sweet. There you go. Got your lights, your cab lights. Oh, you're missing a brake light. Ah, almost perfect. Got your neons. Sweet. Love it, dude. Oh crap, wrong button. Let's change. Do you guys hear the game sound? Yeah, the front bumper neon needs to be tweaked a little bit. See if we can get us a good screenshot. Oh, that color looks sick. Let me, just for the purpose of, oh, you don't hear the sounds? That sucks. Hold on. Let me see if I can get game sounds in here. Well, poo. I don't see it. Oh well. It sounds great with the Peterbilt sound from the other truck. But what I was wanting to do... that's the problem. Shit. We'll have to fix the layout. The layout won't let you back in. Actually, I know I just messed that up again, but let's see how it looks with the trailer. I don't know if the big text. Alright. Pretty sure it can tow this one. I'll have to make sure. Dang it if I hit that button again. Ah, crap. It didn't have it. That's sad. I'll have to edit the handling or the meta and put it in there. I just love it with that red. Just gonna tweak this a little bit. Just for picture purposes. Whoops, wrong button. Yeah, you get it about right there. I guess it pretty low enough to scrape the bumper though. Yellow mud flaps. What mud flaps are we referring to? Oh, the big text mud flaps. Yeah, they look good. That's actually going to be one of the patron releases this month too, I believe. Whoops. Just snagging a couple of these pictures real quick. Sweet. Alright, that'll work. That gives me something to update our screenshot with. So I think that's going to be it. Like I said, I'll get this over to Red and he can finish doing any tweaks he wants to do. I know he wants this to be one of our patron releases this month to go along around the time the welding rig comes out. So we got a lot coming out this month, more than I'd planned on. So we'll see how it goes. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll try to get back at it tomorrow night if we get time. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Have a good one.